Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you've been following me, if you enjoy this commentary, please share this information with somebody you think will find it informative. And if you want to support the channel, please, I have a Cash App, $ Trevor Donald 20, $ Trevor Donald 20. So if you want to send a donation, I much appreciate it, to continue to get this kind of socioeconomic, cultural viewpoint, common sense PhD in America and throughout the world. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about why Puffy is in all of this hot water and where do I think it's coming from. And to be honest, I don't think that his association with Cassie or any of his past indiscretions have anything to do with it. Many times when it's black on black crime, the judicial system really does not care, versus a black man and a white woman. And evidently Puffy has been doing this stuff for over 30 years. So if anybody says that what I'm saying doesn't make sense about the system not caring, how has he gotten away with this for so long? Him, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, whoever. But I think the reason why Puffy is in this web of darkness and they're getting ready to take him down, character assassinate him, and put him in the gavel is because of him filing that lawsuit and making a rant about going after the vodka company, or the spirit company, Diageo, however you pronounce it, Diageo brands. And let's give a little backstory about that company. Well, Diageo Brands is a British company headquartered in London, England. It operates from 132 sites around the world. They produce 40% of all the Scotch whiskey with over 24 brands. Diageo was formed in 1997 with a merger of Guinness Pick and Grand Metropolitan. They are a public company. They are on the London Stock Exchange and part of the FTSE 100 index. And Diageo, just so you'll know how much of a behemoth they are, they operate in 180 countries across 5 regions: Europe, North America, Latin America, the Caribbean, Asia Pacific, and Africa. So this is a major force. And if we want to talk about conspiracy theories, when people have thought that the reason why the American judicial system went after Bill Cosby is because he wanted to buy NBC, well, there's some parallels with Puffy. It seems as if when he developed this relationship with Diageo, the vodka company, and he was doing Ciroc, and he kind of propagated and marketed that he had some kind of ownership in his company, which I never believed one bit of it. I am tired of these entertainers pretending to be like they're part owners of these companies that they have these hybrid relationships with. Kanye was with Adidas for a while, and then you've had LeBron is with Nike, Michael Jordan was with Nike, but they don't own any of the Class A or the majority of the stock of these companies. They're just entertainers that have a symbiotic relationship with these people. But Puffy went around like he owned part of Ciroc. And now that you look in the documents, he only had given them $2,500 as his commitment to the company. And when he went on his rant, and they were paying him an entertainment fee, and when he went on his rant that they weren't doing what they were supposed to do, he tried to handcuff this major company, this publicly traded company out of London. And I think as a result of that, because that happened within the last year, I don't think the Cassie lawsuit is what's bringing the attention to Puffy. He's had multiple lawsuits before. He's probably had a ton of lawsuits that have been attempted with women and him And most lawyers wouldn't even take the case because Puffy was such a behemoth in the music industry. He was making a lot of money for a lot of people, Arista, and these other relationships that he's had with multiple companies. So Puffy was the black face for the black market in America, and this happens all the time. The record companies had these subsidiary black labels that they would send these black rappers and artists to promote all this negative music and imagery. And Bad Boy was a subsidiary of Arista with Clive Davis, who initially gave him the $60 million to get Bad Boy started. And I guess Puffy lost his way like Bill Cosby to think that he could raise his voice and that he would be looked upon as one of them. He went against the establishment and the system. And now I think that the powers to be from Diageo, the vodka company, are the real ones who are pushing the narrative and the button to get Puffy locked up. I think when he went after them and claimed discrimination and all of this stuff that he made a bunch of noise about, it shed a light on the vodka company. And many of your multi-billionaires that actually run the world, you don't see them. The people you see on TV, the Donald Trumps and some of these other folks, even Elon Musk, they're not the people that are pushing the buttons and running the world and making worldly decisions. It's the ones you don't see. The Rockefellers, as we all know, and some of these other historical families, the British rule, the monarchy there. There are a multitude of entities that are pushing the buttons for wars, for economic crises, for disasters, that are pushing the buttons, and you don't see them. And Diageo is one of those companies that's been making a lot of money under the radar for a long time. And I think Puffy brought a certain level of light to them that they did not want. And I think that he forgot his place based on his race. And they are reminding him that you just one brother, one Negro, and we can replace and or destroy you at any time. I think this is where the real nemesis and the impetus is coming from with these lawsuits and tearing him down, just like Bill Cosby with the supposed NBC controversy. I really believe that. Like I said, other people have probably tried to sue Puffy over the years. He had that situation early in his career where he had a party at a convention center or some kind of high school gymnasium where 9 kids got killed in a stampede, and he still survived that. And so now you have a scenario where Cassie and these other folks that are talking about all his sexual misconduct and his harassment, his extortion, his exploitation. This is nothing new. He probably has been doing this for 35 years. But why now is the time to expose it? And this is where I talk about manifesting your truth, having a PhD, common sense, and a slight legal mind. This is not coming out of nowhere. If you decide you want to be a big dog and run with the big dogs, not only do you have to accept the fame and fortune, but you also have to accept the negativity that comes along with it. And just the same way that they build you up, they can tear you. It might take 2 years to build you up, or 10 years, but it takes 1 day, 1 minute, 1 hour to tear you down. And under this social media exploits and time today, it can happen within 1 day. It's just a push of a button. And I think that's what's going on. I think Puffy made a very, very big mistake going after this vodka company and trying to publicly embarrass them. These are white guys from another country. Their racism and sexism and the way they view black people in America, I think, is in a subservient way. I think if you think white Americans can be racist, just go outside of the country. It's even worse. Um, and I think the powers to be at Diageo are going completely after Puffy, and they have notified the New York City and the LA County folks to destroy this gentleman. I think there's a lot of things that have been happening behind the scenes, of course, that we don't know. But I don't think that this is all a precipice to Cassie's allegations. I think these are higher ups where you could get the ear of the federal judges, where you can get the ears of law enforcement. I think most rappers and entertainers have been on an FBI radar, especially in hip hop and gangster music. And Puffy with Bad Boy Records was right there. I think the feds have been knowing about Suge Knight since day one. Irv Gotti, Murder Inc., Rough Riders. Russell Simmons probably has been surveillance since the 80s. And Puffy also with Tupac and all these other suspect murders that have taken place around him with Kim Porter and several other people that have died in a mysterious way. Andre Harrell. When you start making a certain amount of money, you're going to go into a different chasm in life where the eyeballs are all going to be on you, and definitely in the white power structure. And I believe that him going after him as one little black guy from New York and thinking he has all the power in the world, he has made a formidable mistake. Puffy may be worth 600 or 800 million, but let me tell you the numbers for Diageo. Their yearly revenue is $22.4 billion. Their operating income is $4.09 billion. Their net income, which they take in, is $3.38 billion. And their total assets is $36.5 billion. Now, how does one black individual from New York think he's going to fight this company where there are thousands of people that are eating off this company? They don't need any public embarrassment, and they definitely don't need it from some young black guy out of New York. And I think they are the real characters behind pushing this narrative to get Puffy character assassinated forever, and to denigrate him and to remove him from the spotlight. This is all about his relationship where he picked on the wrong monster. This is David versus Goliath, and he is David, but this time Goliath is going to win and Puffy is going to lose. Manifest your truth. This has been a Trevor Donald Experience. Please continue to support, hit that like and subscribe button.